Well, hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine. It's going to be an active evening and an active day tomorrow. I know you've been like, wait a minute, where's all this heavy rain? We've had the showers, the sprinkles, the drizzly stuff on and off throughout the day. The heavier rain is coming. It'll still be a few hours, more into the evening hours before it gets here, but it will come. We're going to be looking at a number of showers and thunderstorms. Here is the current severe outlook for today. Obviously, this is our viewing area, and we're just on the edge, that level 1 marginal risk, mainly for the western half of our area. There is a level 2 slight risk, but that is not in our area. It's over there around New Orleans, going over towards Baton Rouge and a few other spots there, Slidell and some other spots there on the north side of Lake Pontchartrain. That's where the level 2 is. We're in a little bit of a level 1. When we have a level 1, the concern level is not very high, and I'll show you why here. Here is the tornado risk for today, and you'll see in our area, which is you can see the counties outlined right there, we're in that 2% zone. 2% is obviously a really small number. I mean, it's not zero, so that's the thing. I mean, the thing is we have to keep an eye on things tonight, but the concern level is low. But, you know, 2% risk, it's not zero. There's only so many days a year where we even have a 2% risk. So we should pay attention and just make sure you have a way of getting alerts tonight. Good way to do that is by downloading our app, our Fox 10 weather app. It'll alert you. If you can click right on it, bring you the latest information. Of course, if we're live on air for something, you can go right to your phone and watch it if you're not by your TV. And if you are by your TV and your power goes out, use the app. You can pull us up live right there on the app. So another good way of doing things. This is the severe wind risk. We're in the 5% zone. So once again, a small number, but not zero for severe wind risk. The bigger issue, I think, for us tonight, we've already seen this over in Mississippi, flooding issues, flash flooding issues. And this could cause some real issues out on the roads. If there's any good news is that it looks like the rain is going to start, at least the heavy rain is going to start after commute time. So I think we make it through commute time. But if you have some things you got to run around and do later on in the evening, could run into some issues on the roads as things get a little dicey with some of this heavy rain. All right, so let's go ahead and get that up there. You see all these red boxes. One thing I don't like about the color scheming here from the National Weather Service, I do not like that the tornado warning and flash flood warning look almost exactly the same. Tornado warning is red, flash flood warning is crimson. It's not a good setup. Those are not tornado warning boxes. Those, I mean, let me blow it up bigger so you can see a little better here. Those are all flash flood warnings. So there's a bunch of flash flood warnings happening over in Mississippi. So you can see there, I mean, look, it looks almost, we're having to, you know, dice colors here, you know. It's not red, it's crimson. Okay. I do not like that. It's just, I'm sorry I'm on a soapbox about it, but it is confusing. And it does not do well in a situation like this. Now it looks like if those were all tornado warnings, obviously we'd have to be buckling down for an awful looking system headed our way. As it is, we're going to be seeing a system with heavy rain. Obviously, when you have that many flash flood warnings along a line, that means the line isn't moving a whole lot. This has been a very slow mover. Essentially, the system is mostly stalled out, but it is kind of creeping here off to the east. And you can see where it's at now. You're like, oh, that's not too far away from our area. It's, you know, a little after 2 o'clock. You know, commute time's not until 5. That's 3 hours away. It seems like this would be sweeping on through during commute time. But it's not, because it's just kind of stuck there and kind of slow. It'll take a number of hours. This is a 4-hour loop, and it doesn't move very far. So now, that doesn't mean some areas won't have some rain, heavier rain around during commute time. But I think for our metro areas of Mobile, the Eastern Shore, Pensacola, it'll be after commute time before that rain gets to you. All right. Once again, here's a little closer in look. So the actual line right now is spread from New Orleans up through around the Slidell area, basically straight up Interstate 59 up in Hattiesburg. That's where the main line is. Now, there are some showers out ahead of the main line, so we are seeing a little bit of that. So you're going to get some rain around the next couple of hours, but the heavy line is still a few hours away before it'll actually move on in. And you'll see that here as the rain chances ramp up here in the next few hours into the early evening, we'll see those rain chances ramp. But you also notice the temperature is staying very, very mild. It's going to be a very mild evening out there for us. All right, so here's that futurecast. So here's what I'm talking about. This is 5 o'clock. This is commute time, and you can see it's still a little to the west of us. As I put this in motion, we'll go to 7 o'clock. Still a little bit to the west of us, some showers out ahead of it. But this model doesn't bring in the rain. Now keep in mind, this is just a model. It could be off by an hour or two. But it doesn't really bring the heavier rain into the area until about 9 or 10 in the evening. And then it continues to rain here overnight tonight. A few scattered showers there. And then we'll see some rain as we get up on our Thursday morning, some rain scattered about. That shouldn't be as heavy tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, this is the severe outlook for tomorrow. We're in level 1 across our area here for tomorrow. So once again, that means a very low level of risk, not a high level of concern at all, but we have to watch out for an isolated storm or two that tries to get a little stronger. So let's look at the futurecast. I've had to, when I do this, like I showed you a short run futurecast a minute ago that took us through tomorrow morning. Now I'm taking on a medium range model to get us past tomorrow, or into tomorrow, I should say. 10 o'clock shows some scattered showers, but there's another line that is going to set up sometime in the afternoon tomorrow. So this one may be more problematic in the sense that we may be looking at heavier rain around the time that you're picking up kids from school or the time that you're driving yourself home from work. We could be having a more active setup than what we have today. Today, it looks like most of the heavy stuff is going to be after commute time. Tomorrow, it may be like right during it. So we'll have to keep an eye on that exact time. It could slow down or speed up a little bit. Keep that in mind. That's Friday morning. Now Friday, that's noontime. Looks like we'll have some number of showers around at lunchtime. And then into the evening, it's showing heavy rain headed towards the Panhandle. Now, this is when the condies will be rolling on Friday night. I hope this is right, that the rain is off to the east and to the west, things are pretty quiet. My forecast for the parade, I'm not going there yet. I'm still calling for some scattered showers and storms. I mean, this is just one model. I've seen some of the other models showing us some rain there Friday evening, so just please keep that in mind, just one model. And then I go into Saturday. Now, this model ends 7 a.m. Saturday morning, so I can't take any past that, but I want to point something out here. Lake Charles, look at Louisiana, getting absolutely poured on at 7 a.m. Saturday morning. Well, eventually that's going to work its way towards us, probably midday on Saturday. So right in the middle of the day on Saturday, another round of very heavy rain and thunderstorms. That round right there will be moving through. So we got a heavy round coming through tonight. We've got a heavy round coming through Thursday afternoon. Kind of scattered more on Friday. I don't think Friday's a day where we get, the same kind of level, but still going to be some scattered showers and storms on Friday. And then Saturday, it looks like right around midday, maybe early afternoon, another round of heavy rain and storms. So very active pattern for the next several days. How much rain are we going to be looking at? Probably a pretty good bit. This is from the Weather Prediction Center. They go through all the modeling and they come up with what their thoughts are for the rain totals next several days. And low end is about 2 inches, and high end is about 4 inches here for us across the area. So 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, even shows some 5 inches. We've already seen this starting to happen over in Hattiesburg, where they're getting flash flood warnings out there right now. So that's certainly within the realm of possibilities. So here's your day planner for tomorrow. Obviously not going to be a pretty day. It's going to be in the 60s and low 70s all through the day. I mean, it will start out in the mid 60s. We'll get into the upper 60s or right around 70 degrees in the afternoon. So the temperatures won't be bad, but obviously the showers and storms will really be a factor here for us again tomorrow on our Thursday. It could really rain at any time, but it looks like the thunderstorms will happen probably mid-afternoon to late afternoon. So, but once again, that could be right during the time you're picking up the kids from school or right during the time you're driving home from work on your Thursday afternoon. Tonight's rain looks to be a little bit after commute time when it hits. Tomorrow, right in the middle of all of it. So more problematic, I think, tomorrow than what we're seeing today. And you can see those rain chances. I've dropped them a little bit for Friday because they're more scattered. Obviously, it's going to stay high for Thursday, stay high for Saturday. Saturday, we got multiple parades, and folks, I mean, like I showed you, there's a big batch of rain coming in. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to impact it. The evening parade for Friday, the Condi, some of the malls say we're going to have some scattered showers then. One of the malls I just showed you basically said things are in the clear for Mobile. We'll see. Hopefully that's the case, and we can get the Condis in without any problem. And then once that front system goes through on Saturday, we will see cooling temperatures for Sunday. Not like a big Arctic outbreak this time. We're not going to see that, but it will cool off for us as we go into Sunday. All right, so once again, if you didn't see this, there are a bunch of flash flood warnings. Once again, on my soapbox, I hate that the National Weather Service uses crimson, the color crimson, for flash flood warnings, because tornado warnings are bright red. If you see them side by side, they look different. But if you just see this, you're like, oh man, that's a bunch of tornado warnings. It is not. Those are all flash flood warnings. Flash flood warnings all near Hattiesburg. Heavy rain there. There's the line again. Here a little bit after 2 o'clock in the afternoon of 2:10. Heavy rain. Very, very slow moving. So obviously when you get flash flooding, it's not just about the heavy rain. It's about how fast the system is moving, or how slow, I should say, how slow the system is moving. This is a very, very slow mover. That's why even here at 2 o'clock, it looks like it's pretty close, but it's still going to take a while to work its way through our area. So it's going to take time before it does so. But look at all that heavy rain around Hattiesburg. See all the boxes there. Those are all the flash flood warnings that they've gotten because of how much rain they've received. And flash flood warnings for us generally means the biggest impacts are going to be for our roads. So that's what we have to watch out for. Our roads getting flooded out pretty quickly. So please be careful if you got to be driving around. But that'll be later this evening. It won't be the early, it looks like it'll be after commute time before it gets here, which is lovely to say. You know, we don't want this to come through right during commute time. I'll give you one more quick glimpse here of the Futurecast this evening. And I do think, looking at this Futurecast, it's a couple hours behind. I think at 5 o'clock, it's going to be kind of like knocking on the doorstep here of the state line. So I think this is just going to be a little bit behind. So that's why we got to be careful about getting too caught up in the exact time, because the models, when the way they run, if they're going to be, if anything's going to happen, usually they're going to be a little bit behind, because it takes a while to run a model, and that can put them actually a little bit behind. It's kind of hard. I don't know if I explained that the right way. But like, this is 7 o'clock. I think this is probably what it's going to look like, more like at 6 o'clock, maybe even 5 o'clock. So just keep that in mind. I think the main line will stroll through the Mobile area probably about somewhere between 8 and 10. So give it that window. But that is after the commute, so for most of us. I mean, obviously in some areas we'll already see some heavy rain, but I think Mobile, the Eastern Shore, going over to Pensacola, somewhere in that 8 to 10 range is probably when we'll see the heaviest rain here this evening. We'll keep an eye on it for you, see if that timing tries to change a little bit with this system, because it was very much stalled out much of the day, but this afternoon has picked up at least a little bit. I've just noticed that in the last hour or so, just kind of checking out the movement of it. It does seem to finally be kind of kicking off to the east. So there it is. Last hour or so, I would say it has moved a little bit, so it is beginning to pick it up steam. But I still think it'll be a little bit behind commute time before it gets into most of our area. So I'll be keeping an eye on that for you, obviously. We're coming up on Fox 10 News at 3, 4, and 5 o'clock this evening, breaking all this down for you. We'll also keep a very close eye on the roadways, so if we have any major problems, we'll let you know about that. And that's something else good to point out, too. If you pick up our Fox 10 weather app, you can also look at our traffic tracker on here as well. So if you need to, check out the drive home or anything like that, you can pull up our traffic tracker right there on our Fox 10 weather app. We also have that on our float tracker app. A lot of folks pick up our float tracker app at this time of year because obviously it's Mardi Gras season. So our float tracker app, which is really cool, will let you know when when the parade is going to come on through. So if you're got yourself a good spot there in downtown Mobile, you can pull up the float tracker app, check out where the parade is at that current time, and it'll let you know. and also has traffic on there. It has weather on the Float Tracker app as well, so you can check out all that. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We're keeping an eye on these showers and storms headed our way for later on this evening. They're not here yet, so right now, next couple of hours, you got to run around and get a few things done. You'll be okay. It looks like the heavier rain won't move in until a little bit after commute time, somewhere after 6 o'clock. We'll start seeing it move into the western part of our area. More details on all this coming up on Fox 10 News at 3, 4, and 5. We'll see you then.